And let's talk about Wendy Williams. How you doing? So Wendy Williams, ex-husband, Kelvin Hunter, all of a sudden, a lot of these people ain't even big with their numbers. He decided to file a $250 million lawsuit seeking to end her guardianship. And this is what he did yesterday. Now, I find it a cackle because I'm like, sir, if you was really all about trying to end her conservatorship, guardianship, whatever the hell you want to call it, then back when all of this stuff was going on, when she spoke to Don Lemon, when she spoke to the Breakfast Club multiple times, when she spoke to TMZ and Harvey, when she went on the, she ain't going to View. She can't leave that place. When she called up the View, when all of this stuff was going on, where were you? We ain't hear from you. I mean, the rumor was going around that you had allegedly did an interview with Gayle King. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know when that's coming. But apparently, yeah. So she's supposed to have done, he's supposed to have done an interview with Gayle King. And now all of a sudden, he's coming out here saying, now all of a sudden he want to give a damn about her well-being. So now, according to court documents obtained by People, Hunter filed a lawsuit which he claims is on her behalf. We'll get to what Wendy had to say in a second, but let's entertain this foolishness. Demanding a jury trial on Tuesday, June 17th, which named 48 defendants who he claims to have violated her constitutional rights. Among them are her legal guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, the judge presiding over the guardianship, Lisa Sokoloff, Wells Fargo, her assisted living facility, and several lawyers. Saying, quote, guardianship is civil death. In New York, more than 28,000 adults, which includes Williams, are being abused, neglected, and defrauded under the care of court-appointed guardians. This is according to the complaint. However, LaShawn Thomas, the attorney who filed the lawsuit, acknowledged in a statement to People that Williams is not legally aware of all the evidence that supports our claims that she should not be forced to suffer from this guardianship. Saying, I plan on laying out sufficient evidence that support our claims and ensure that her rights are vindicated and that she is made whole financially. And when she's laid whole financially, here's what I wonder. Is this the part where Kelvin also files another lawsuit and says, see, we got you free. So the money that I was supposed to have gotten, that I had gotten cut off, because remember around the time Wendy said that if I can't work in the whole situation, then I don't have to pay him alimony anymore. So once she gets him out of that, or he gets her out of that, then what you thinking? That when you gonna get back to work, that alimony money gonna come back and you're gonna get paid? Just a layup in the shade with a glass of lemonade? Shout out to Lil Kim. I get paid just to lay up in the shade. Now, People has reached out to Morrissey, Hunter, Sokoloff, Schiller, and the assisted care living facility for comment, while Wells Fargo declined to comment. The filing notes that the lawsuit is not seeking to end to Williams' guardianship. However, Hunter's requests include new impartial guardian, the unsealing of her case files, her release from involuntary confinement, a full forensic accounting the $250 million in relief for financial loss, reputational damage and harm, emotional distress, legal expenses, and deprivation of liberty. You got all the money to be able to afford a lawyer to come out and do all of this, sir? Because you ain't worked. One person did say on social media, it was like, I ain't never seen somebody work so hard and not find a job. When I heard that, I cackled. Because this is what this is giving. It's like, Kelvin, go on, you like Tommy. You don't have a job? Like, go out and get a job. Tommy from Martin. And they said Hunter is named as co-plaintiff in the case and is seeking appointment as Williams' next friend. Yeah, which is a party who can legally act on behalf of an individual unable to assert their own rights, and then no guardian is acting in their best interest, per the complaint. Now, in the complaint, Hunter claims that Williams has been the victim of unrestrained abuse, maltreatment, and fiscal malfeasance. Or is it malfeasance? In the 3 years since her guardianship was first imposed. And what he alleges is a secret proceeding where she was not provided the opportunity to obtain adequate legal representation. At the time, it was attributed to her dementia diagnosis, although she has since denied being cognitively impaired. The complaint further alleges that Williams was not afforded an independent medical evaluation before being placed under a guardianship and has since been subjected to over-medication and undue restrictions. Well, he's going to have to be able to prove all of this, because I don't know, I doubt Kelvin has visited her at this facility. So this is all stuff you're going to have to prove. Now, when she was placed in her assisted living facility, Hunter, via the complaint, alleges Williams' care specialist took photos of her in a state of undress without consent, disclosed Williams' location to third parties, and sold or attempted to sell the images and information to media outlets. Hunter is also accusing Judge Sokoloff of not allowing Williams to retain counsel to submit filings, make appearances in court, and have access to previously filed documents, saying, quote, Williams remains a captive of a corrupt criminal enterprise, and plaintiffs submit this action to the court in hope of freeing her from this fraudulent bondage. According to the complaint, which slams the guardianship as a weapon, not a shield. Now, in addition to claims that she passed a competency evaluation in March, which Morrissey previously told people Williams declined to participate in, Hunter cites Williams' 2024 tax lien, the loss of profit on her NYC penthouse, and the state of her personal items as example of financial mismanagement. Now, Hunter, who estimates that Williams has lost $20 million per year in earnings from not being able to work, also alleges that her son was not given access to his college fund and accuses the defendants of using her money to pay for the case against her. Well, I wonder how he know about the whole college fund situation, because what word on the street was, I'm thinking that he was probably trying to use Kelvin, and that was the rumor, to break her off a little bit of the money, because at one point he was kind of like, he had access to Wendy's finances and stuff. And remember, they were saying like he was trying to get $100,000 on a yacht and a bunch of other, like, for a party. And Wendy was like that Kelvin was aiming big, Lil Kev, when it came to her money. Like, I would give him whatever he wanted because that's my son. But here you out here dipping into my money for whatever situation, $100,000 a year for damn Uber Eats. Who the hell pays that much? Like, what the hell was you buying that you spend $100K on Uber Eats? No regular person spends that much money, but I guess because Wendy Williams is Wendy Williams, all you saw was dollar signs. And so you out here spending up your mother money, which I believe, set off red flags with Wells Fargo. And then that's when they did what they did and freeze her money, and then all the other stuff happened. Because Wendy did say that her son is a part of the reason why she is in the midst of what she's in at this moment. So yeah, then he says that Wells Fargo financial advisor Lori Schiller paid a total of $60,000 from Williams' account to Dr. Rami Kaminsky, who allegedly wrote the January 2022 medical opinion letter stating Williams had impaired judgment and was incapable of making reasoned decisions. So remember, I be telling y'all that when it comes to people, when you are a person in a powerful position, how you can take money and pay people off and they'll give you whatever you want. So now that, like when I was talking about the whole thing with Tyler Perry, now you're talking about that the financial advisor paid $60,000 from Williams' account. You have to be able to prove that that money was taken out and that that man was given that money. And then he goes and writes what he wrote to basically get Williams into her guardianship. So they said Williams' lawyers allege they have information showing that Wells Fargo and her court-appointed attorney, Linda Redlisky, are financial contributors to Judge Lisa Sokoloff's re-election campaign. And then there it is. Now we got somebody in freaking politics. You know how things get when it comes to that. Now, beginning in February 2022, a coordinated and coercive campaign to silence and isolate Williams was executed through judicial orders and extrajudicial acts, depriving Williams of access to counsel, family, communication tools, and the ability to control her own narrative. This is according to the complaint. Well, now let's get into what Wendy had to say. So Wendy confirmed to TMZ, she says she isn't involved in her ex-husband Kelvin Hunter's new lawsuit to get her out of the guardianship. Now, speaking with the outlet over the phone, she theorized it could be a money grab. So she basically saying all of what we saying. Like, this feels like you trying to find a way to get money out of a situation because you feel like, because we heard from the past, Kelvin's still running around here talking about that he's owed money. Like, wasn't he a lawsuit he filed against Debma Mercury for wrongful termination because you was cheating on Wendy throughout your entire marriage, and then but the big mistake where Wendy couldn't deny the cheating was happening, or as she would say, the cheatation. You went and decided to knock Sharina ass up, and now y'all got a baby. Brenda got a baby. So then, and then it also says like, well, we already know that he filed the lawsuit, all that stuff. I want to see if she said anything else. Does it look like that he pretty much said anything, or she said anything else? She basically just said over the phone that, yeah, so many words that, yeah, because the whole thing just recaps the whole story. Is that, yeah, she says, I have no parts in this case. So when I was seeing other articles where they were saying that Wendy and her ex filed a suit, Wendy says she has no parts of what's happening. She's got her own thing going on. But now with the people saying, one person said Kelvin wants her out and working to keep collecting alimony. See, didn't I say that? Otherwise, he would have spoken out sooner than later. And it's funny how like I just read that comment because I wasn't reading the people comment. This is me just coming off rip with what I say from my own brain. And I said that. I said at the end of the day, this is literally giving you were trying to find a way to hustle Wendy into getting her ass back on the stroll and making you money. And to me, that's just disgusting that how your only source of income, you want your bread and butter. The only way that you was getting your bread buttered was when you had your ex-wife doing all the stuff that you was doing because you couldn't get your ass up and get a job. Because your job at one point when everything was great and Wendy was looking the other way with a lot of your indiscretions was you were her manager. Because she had to have you do something. And I know with her mouth, you was providing her that protection because you from Brownsville, Brooklyn, like me. So you was providing her with the protection that she needed at the time when her career was what it was. So kind of like I always say with Nicki Minaj and Kenny Petty. But so I totally see why, you were just a situation. I'm sure she loved you, but it was a convenient situation and you knew that and you took advantage of it. One person said, I'm giving him the smallest finger clap for finally trying to do the right thing, but I just have to question his intentions. So everybody side on you, sir. This man's trying everything to get a coin. Okay. Another person said he just want her coins, your honor. He's from Brownsville. Not you trying to throw in the Brownsville read. Talking about he just wants her coin, your honor. He's from Brownsville. How dare you? I mean, look, I don't live there no more. So y'all can talk about Brownsville, Brooklyn. That's the hood. Shout out to Brooklyn, by the way. I don't even know what it looked like. How I don't even know how Brownsville look. It's been so long since I've been to Brownsville. Well, I should say that part of Brooklyn. So yeah, that's basically it we have on this topic. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Do you agree with what I said? Or what the people were saying in the comments regarding like, you know what, this is noble of you. I like that you're doing all this other stuff, and this is gonna be great if you could prove all of it. However, we are side-eyeing you, sir. We do not believe that you have the Wendy's best intentions. I do feel like you're trying to get her out of her stuff so that when you get her back to work, and then you can start being like, oh, I got a new suit. Now look, I got her out. I should be able to get my alimony. And then we could all get up on the line and cuss you out and for the dog you actually are. So yeah, I definitely want to hear from y'all regarding this story. So let me know what your thoughts are on this story in the comments down below.